Hi everyone, let's grow together in Bible. It's never too late, so cheer up and let's jump into it.
Before Babylon, before the flood. When the world still smelled of heaven's breath, two brothers walked the earth. But their story begins not with them. It begins with their mother's tears, tears that watered the unforgiving soil where no rose had bloomed since the fall. God had formed Adam and Eve, and they once walked with him in paradise. But a single choice, one act of defiance, closed the gates of Eden behind them. Still, there was hope. Eve gave birth to her first child. They named him Cain.
With the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man.
Later, another son was born. Gentler, quieter, eyes full of wonder. They named him Abel. Adam, whispering to young Cain,
"Your hand, they're unmarked, not like mine."
Cain grew like wild barley, strong and stubborn. At 7, he could read the skies. At 12, he carved his first furrow with an antler and grit. He knew the land, its silence, its sweat, its sting. Abel was different. He knelt eye to eye with creatures. He removed thorns from their paws. Orphaned lambs slept against his heartbeat. Where Cain conquered the earth, Abel communed with life. Two brothers, two callings, one soil, two seeds. One day they brought offerings to the Lord. Cain brought some of his crops, fruits of the ground. Abel brought the firstborn of his flock, along with their best portions. And the Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. It was not about the grain or the lambs, it was the heart behind the gift. Cain gave out of duty, Abel gave out of devotion. Cain's face darkened, his heart twisted. But the Lord came to him, not with wrath, but with love.
"Why are you upset? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if not, sin is crouching at your door. It desires you, but you must rule over it."
God's voice, gentle, stern.
"Why this storm inside you, firstborn?"
A choice stood before Cain, a way out, a way forward. But envy spoke louder than reason, and anger burned hotter than grace. Cain said to his brother,
"Let's go out to the field."
Abel, unaware, smiled. Abel, joyfully.
"Brother, come see the twin lambs born this morning. One has your frown."
But under the open sky, something terrible happened. A decision was made that would echo through time. The ground did something then, that Adam's race had never seen. The ground opened its mouth and drank. The Lord came again, not in rage, but with a sorrowful question.
"Where is your brother Abel?"
Cain answered,
"I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?"
But God, who sees all, said,
"Your brother's voice cries out to me."
There were no harsh punishments, just a heavy consequence and a broken heart. God said,
"Now the ground will no longer yield for you, Cain. You will wander, lost, restless, unrooted."
Cain trembled.
"My burden is too much. I must leave your presence. I will be alone."
But God even then offered mercy.
"I will place a mark of protection on you. No one shall harm you."
It was a sign both terrible and tender, a mark that said to all creation,
"This one is broken, but he is mine to redeem."
Eve sat alone, tears tracing lines down her weathered face. Eve whispers,
I should have seen the serpent in his eyes.
One son gone, the other lost to rage. Every altar since asks Cain's question,
"Am I my brother's keeper?"
And the earth still answers, not just with Abel's voice, but with the cry of the Lamb who would one day come, because the story does not end with Cain, it points ahead to grace. By faith, Abel still speaks, even though he is no longer with us. Cain and Abel are not just figures of old, they are echoes in our daily lives. One gave with trust, one withheld and hardened his heart. Even now, God whispers to us,
Where is your brother? Where is your heart?
and still, He offers the same choice, to give our best, to choose love over resentment, to let mercy triumph over judgment. This is the story of Cain and Abel, a story of gifts and grief, of envy and grace, a story of two brothers, and the God who still calls us to choose the better path.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more.